Welcome back to NY Flight. In this video, we're going to be breaking down Aaron Rodgers' appearance on the Pat McAfee show today and what he had to say on him getting elevated to the active roster rather staying on IR for the rest of the season. So we're going to pause the video and break down what he's saying time by time. He said something I think is important, and we're going to watch around half of it. Let me pull that up. All right, here we are. Okay, let's get right into it.
Merry Christmas. You look fantastic. Let's dive right in. Big time win. Let's go. What do we see?
It was a big win for the Jets, but we were up 27-7 at halftime. We should be expected to win that game.
What are we doing? How are we feeling in it?
Well, I feel good about it. Obviously, we had a big lead there, 27-7. They came back, and Greg hit an unbelievable 54-yarder to win.
We shouldn't have been behind in the first place, but great kick by Greg. I totally agree with what he's saying.
But a lot of great performances on Sunday. Want to highlight Breece Hall. Breece, 95 plus.
Breece Hall had an incredible game. Whether it was, I think he had 11 catches, it was, or something crazy like that. 95 all, I think rushing or all purpose. Either one, it's crazy good. He's been insanely good behind this terrible offensive line and just this terrible offense. All right, let's go back in.
Plus yards receiving and rushing. He's done it twice. I saw a stat that said he's done it like 22 games, and the other guys who've done it, it's been over 100 games. So
he's crazy good
big
behind
shout
this
out
terrible
to Breece.
offensive
He's
line too.
A talented guy. This was an awesomely blocked play on the front side. And, give him a little bit of crease. He's going to go the distance. But I'm proud of Trevor. I thought Trevor
Don't
played
give
a nice
Breece
game.
a crease.
Nope.
Very great, beautiful run by Breece there, but a good blocking by the offensive line. I actually haven't seen that highlight before.
But, it was a good win for us. It's fun. It's always more fun when you win. We got a short week now. We play Cleveland on Thursday, and which a lot of good storylines there. Joe Flacco's starting to quarterback for them. And we can only play spoilers, so we'll try.
I know you guys definitely remember, but Joe Flacco was with the Jets for 2 years, and now he is balling with the Browns, just balling. All right, let's go back in.
And try and do our best.
Go ahead, AJ.
Hey, how impressive is it to watch Joe Flacco play, coming off the couch, driving his kids around and all that stuff he talked about early in the year, and then now how productive he is being on the field? Like, could you describe how difficult that might be to someone that doesn't really understand that?
I don't think anybody.
Yeah, I don't think Aaron Rodgers has ever been in that situation. I don't know what kind of question that was.
You can understand it unless you
exactly.
You realize how difficult it is when you get older just to kind of stay in shape. If you're not working, I'm assuming he was working, but to not have any training camp, any off season, and to just come in off the couch and be able to play like he's played. I look at the first game he played, and I feel like they went right down the field on one of the first drives, if not the first drive, and he threw a kind of classic.
Well, keep in mind he also has Amari Cooper, and they also don't use it. So, like, I'm not blaming anything on Rodgers, but the difference between the Browns and the New York Jets organization is the Jets played such a blame game when Aaron went down. Oh, it's the backup quarterback. Come on, the Browns use no excuses. The Vikings, who are still in the playoff, the Jets, the Titans, and the Patriots are the only teams, and maybe the Chargers, not contending for the AFC. The AFC is very tight, but a bunch of the teams are in contention. Let's go back in.
Classic Joe Flacco one ball for a touchdown. That probably got him going pretty good. But Joe is one of the prettiest throwers of the football I think that I've seen in our time. He's got kind of that longer delivery, but the ball comes off nice. You watch what Coop did in the game. I mean, he was fantastic. 265 yards receiving is ridiculous. But
great throw by Flacco, but look at that blocking. If we had like the Jets' offensive line is 30, 31, or 32. For them to be for our team to succeed, we just need them to be top 20. Like maybe top 22, something like that. We just need them to be like top 20, top 22, just something like that. We don't need them to be the Eagles or the Niners.
Joe has always been a great deep ball thrower, and he had a couple obviously
Again,
dimes.
beautiful block.
Look at that, just like deep out. Here's the awesome throw. Put some top on it, and then letting
Another
Coop
play with
just use
beautiful
his body and
blocking.
make a play. Always been a fan of Amari's and happy for Joe. I don't really know Joe personally. I've kind of run into him a few times over the years, but always am told that we would be friends if we spent time together for whatever that means. So,
Joe dabbles with ayahuasca.
Well.
Maybe that's what he was doing the whole first half of the season.
Could have been.
Plants.
Could have been.
Yeah, not 100% sure. We've talked to Joe Flacco before. How'd it go?
Yeah, he basically just said, "Hey guys," and then that was it.
Yeah, somebody was doing our show from a building in Denver.
Yeah, McManus.
Yep.
It was Brandon McManus was doing our show in Denver.
I'm going to skip over this part. Let's see.
Joe's here. We're like, Joe's there. He just walked off. That
Joe Cool.
Yep.
Joe Cool.
I don't think there's a lot of, he's kind of handled his business. He said, I guess it's allegedly come out, I don't know if he said it, that whenever you got injured, he called the Jets and was like, hey, is there any interest? They said no. So, like, I assume the Jets aren't the only team in which his agent or
Such an awkward position to put Rodgers in, as he's obviously going to try to defend his quarterback room. Look at Rodgers' face. He's so stunned that Pat mentioned that. Wow.
he reached out to. It's like nobody wanted this guy either. He thought there was a chance maybe it was over.
Keep in mind, the Jets had the option to extend Flacco last season. I'm not saying we should have, but look what he's doing right now with the Browns.
It's been fun to watch that. A lot of good stories in the NFL right now. One that kicked, every other story to the side there for a little bit because it involves you and the New York Jets. So you got put on the active roster after your 21-day window closed.
Here is the part we have been waiting for. Let's listen to what Rodgers has to say.
Last week, okay, 21-day window to make a decision on whether he's going to be active or he's going to be IR for the rest of the season. This is the NFL. This
was last week, and the Jets ended up elevating Rodgers to the 53-man.
NFL's rules. So whenever you go to the active roster, Nick Big Bottom Bodden is his name.
That's right.
Gets sent off the team, okay, down to the practice squad, I do believe.
He's our fullback who had all of his money guaranteed. Keep this in mind.
He's been in the NFL 6 years, fully vested, so his contract is guaranteed throughout the entire season. This became a massive conversation because if you're not going to play, why are you taking Nick Big Bottom's spot? Why are you doing this? You're a bad guy. And now I assume that there is some sort of conversation that you would like to have or inform people of why this took place, how this took place, practice. Is that the reason? Is there a chance you play? What happened there behind the scenes and when did?
So let me give some background information first. Nick Bodden is our fullback who had all of his money guaranteed, and the reason they put him down is because all of his money was guaranteed, and they were going to put him on our game day roster anyway. The reason they put him down is because all of his money was guaranteed. Well, all right, that aside, let's go back to the show.
When did you hear how pissed off people were about you getting put on the active roster last week?
All right, let's look.
I figured there'd be some conversation about it. The story's simple. We lost to the previous week, and
30-0.
And I was again targeting the 24th to come back. So I assumed I was going to go on IR. I asked to be put on IR because there was conversation, do you want to practice? And I said, not at the expense of somebody.
There's two sides to this story. After he's finished talking, I'll break it down.
Getting cut. I know how this works, and I didn't need to feel like I needed to practice to continue my rehab. I could do on the field stuff on the side.
I agree.
But obviously, I got overruled there. It is what it is, and
I'm surprised the Jets overruled him in this situation because the Jets give him so much influence in what we do.
Yeah, that was a interesting situation. I called Nick right away. I just said, "Hey, I just hope you know this isn't coming from me." I asked him to put me on IR, but he actually said, "Hey, look, I'm vested. I'm getting my money. I'm fine. Don't worry about me." He would have got elevated this last week.
Pretty sure he was elevated, but he was injured, so he did not play. That's proof he's going to be on our game day roster. It's just he was the one chosen to get put on practice squad.
If he'd been healthy, but he'll be back up this week, I'm sure. But it's the same old thing. It's the same people with the same comments. I think
All right. So we listened to what Aaron had to say. he requested that he was kept. He was put on IR for the rest of the season, and no one got taken off the 53 man. So let me break down. There's both sides. The Jets elevated Rodgers to the 53 man, knowing he was not going to play for the rest of the year, to ensure that he was practicing with the team. Like, he was practicing with the team at the practice facility every day. But what the Jets could have done if they did not elevate him and kept Bott on the active roster is he could have been still rehabbing, but on the practice field on the side. In my opinion, I like that we elevated him so he could be practicing with the guys at the practice facility every day. And Nick Bawden, he's a touchdown this year. He's been okay. He has all of his money guaranteed, and no one's going to pick him up off practice squad, and we're just going to put him on our game day roster. In my opinion, it was a good move for the Jets, but comment down below what your thoughts were on this move, and see you guys in the next one.